Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen, Anderson, Bates, Bell, Berryhill, Block, Canella, De Leon, Fuller, Gaines, Galgiani, Glazer, Hall, Hancock, Hernandez, Hertzberg, Hill, Hueso, Huff, Jackson, Lada, Leno, Leyva, Liu, McGuire, Mendoza, Mitchell, Monning, Morlock, Morrell, Wynn, Nilsson, Pan, Pavley, Roth, Runner, Stone, Vidak, Wykowski, Wolk.
The Secretary notices the absence of a quorum. Will all members please report to the floor for the beginning of today's session? Thank you. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen, Anderson, Bates, Bell, Berryhill, Block, Cannella, De Leon, Fuller, Gaines, Galgiani, Glazer, Hall, Hancock, Hernandez, Hertzberg, Hill, Hueso, Huff, Jackson, Latta, Leno, Leyva, Liu, McGuire, Mendoza, Mitchell, Monning, Morlock, Morrell, Wynn, Nielsen, Pan, Pavley, Roth, Runner, Stone, Vidak, Wykowski, Wolk.
Colleagues, the Secretary notices the presence of a quorum. Would the members and our guests beyond the rail and in the gallery please rise? We will be led in prayer this afternoon by our chaplain, Sister Michelle Gorman, after which, please remain standing. We'll be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag by Senator Wykowski.
Let us recall that we are always in God's presence. Lord, make us instruments of your peace. Where there is hatred, let us sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that we may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in asking forgiveness that we are healed. And it is in dying to self that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I see. Senator Lara, for what purpose do you rise?
President, to bring up file item 23.
Colleagues, we're beginning with file item 23, Senate Resolution 33. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Resolution 33 by Senator Latta relative to lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender Pride Month.
Senator Lara.
Thank you, Madam President and members. As a member of the California Legislative LGBT Caucus, I am proud to present Senate Resolution 33, which declares June as Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Pride Month in the state of California. In the early hours of New Year's Eve in 1967, a group of plainclothes police officers infiltrated the Black Cat Tavern in Silver Lake in Los Angeles, California, a newly established gay bar, and began arresting and beating patrons. 16 people were arrested, 2 bartenders were beaten unconscious, and spurring to action a 200-person march against police brutality, the first LGBT rights protest in our state in California. 2 years later, patrons and supporters of the Stonewall Inn in New York City also resisted police brutality because of their sexual orientation and gender identity. As police began dragging some of the patrons out, members of the LGBT community decided to fight back, sparking a 3-day riot. Exactly 1 year after the Stonewall riots, the LGBT community began to celebrate the anniversary of this momentous event, which brought widespread attention to the LGBT struggle for equality against discriminatory laws and policies. This month marks not only the 46th anniversary since of the Stonewall protest, but also the anniversary of the U.S. Supreme Court decision to strike down provisions of the Defense of Marriage Act and reaffirm gay marriage in California. In June, millions of people in cities here in California and all over the world celebrate the anniversary of the Stonewall riots that gave birth to the modern-day LGBT civil rights movement. During LGBT Pride Month, we celebrate accomplishments and contributions of LGBT people in every field of endeavor, including business, medicine, law, science, education, philanthropy, sports, arts, and culture that have enriched our lives. In closing, members, it is important to remember that Pride was not born out of the need to celebrate being LGBT, but rather in recognition of our rights to exist without persecution. I respectfully ask for your aye vote on Senate Resolution 33, proclaiming June 2015 as LGBT Pride Month.
Thank you. Is there any discussion or debate? Senator Leno at the rear of the chambers. I forgot whose desk that was.
Thank you, Madam President. Colleagues,
I forgot whose desk that was.
thank you for affording us a few moments to not only make recognition of this resolution. We're going to introduce our guest now, right? Okay. We have a few guests that we're going to be introducing in just a moment, so I ask for your aye vote.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion or debate? Seeing none, Senator Leno, would you like to close? Excuse me. Senator Lara, would you like to close?
Thank you, members. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Thank you. Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. No. Bates. Bell. Berryhill. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Aye. Fuller. Gaines. Galgioni. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Hancock. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Aye. Wesso. Aye. Huff. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Morrell. No. Wynn. Nilsson. No. Pan. Pavley. Roth. Aye. Runner. Stone. Vidak. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Bell, aye.
Call the absent members, please.
Allen. Aye. Bates. Berryhill. Fuller. Gaines. Hall. Hancock. Huff. McGuire. Morlock. Wynn. Pan. Pavley. Runner. Stone. Aye. Vidak.
Ayes 23, noes 3. The resolution is adopted. Senator Leno at Senator Monning's desk.
Thank you, Madam President and colleagues. We do have some guests to introduce to you. I'm going to just make a brief comment that in 1969, as Senator Lara pointed out, the date that marks the beginning of the modern LGBT civil rights movement, of course, this is a movement that's been ongoing for centuries, if not millennia, to allow for respect and dignity and validation of all human life. That 1969 event in Stonewall also coincides with the year that I came out as a gay man at age 18. And so by happenstance, my entire adult life has been the unfolding of this civil rights movement. And it's hard to remember that at that time, when that 18-year-old young man felt compelled to be honest to his parents and family and friends, that to make that announcement was to proclaim that I was an outlaw with a mental disorder. The American Psychiatric Association did not drop homosexuality from its lists of mental illnesses until 1973. Even here in the state of California until 1976, adult consensual relations between people of the same gender was considered a felony. So it was a very different time. But here we are on the eve of the United States Supreme Court decision that we will probably hear on Monday of next week, which will decide whether or not same-sex couples have the same fundamental human right to marry the person that he or she loves. It's been a long, strange journey, to be certain, but it's been one that's quite thrilling and very heartening to see that attitudes and understandings change. And Harvey Milk had it right when he said, come out wherever you are, because he knew that if everyone came out, that the general population would see that there are gay and lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people in every aspect of their daily lives. And today, irrespective of party affiliation, those individuals who know someone gay or lesbian in their lives support equal marriage rights at a rate above 60%. In fact, I think it's closer to 70%. But those who do not recognize that they know anyone from our community in their lives oppose it by 59%. So Harvey had it right. With that, I thank you for the opportunity and the time for us to introduce some extraordinary people from across the state of California who give of their time and of their talents to make this a better state in endless and varied ways. Our first honoree is a very dear and old friend of mine. His name is Dr. Donald Abrams. And Dr. Abrams is the chief of the Hematology Oncology Division at the San Francisco General Hospital. He's dedicated his work to those living with HIV and AIDS and is renowned for his research and clinical expertise in the study of HIV, AIDS, and cancer-related conditions. Dr. Abrams is a member of the California Medical Association, the American Medical Association, the American College of Physicians, and the International AIDS Society. Dr. Abrams, thank you for joining us today. Our second honoree is Cowgirl Creamery, which is a business in Marin County. Sue Connolly and Peggy Smith are the proprietors. They started this business I think close to decades ago. They had to get back to their business, so they're not here today. But very briefly, Sue Connolly and Peggy Smith are the owners of Cowgirl Creamery. Cowgirl Creamery cheeses are sold to over 500 stores, independent cheese shops, farmers markets and restaurants, and nationally through Whole Foods Market. And true to their community ethos, Tomales Bay Foods, which they own, continues to support and promote artisan cheesemaking, offering over 200 cheeses from all over California, America, and Europe through their website and retail locations. And their growing empire now employs over 100 people. We congratulate them. And I believe Senator Lara will introduce our next honoree.
Thank you. Our third honoree is Dr. Robert Garcia. Is the 28th mayor of the city of Long Beach. As a mayor, he has taken the leadership role in balancing the city budget, reforming pensions, expanding park space, and investing in technology. Mayor Garcia is committed to moving Long Beach forward by attracting tech and green jobs, creating new educational partnerships, and rebuilding aging streets, sidewalks, and alleys. Senator Bell would appreciate that. He is the first openly gay, Latino, and youngest mayor of the city of Long Beach, and is the first openly gay mayor of a major California city. Let's give him a round of applause.
Honoree Virginia Garola was the first Latina to serve on Porterville City Council and the first Latina mayor in the city's history. In June of 2013, Mayor Garola issued a proclamation that would identify June as LGBT Pride Month in Porterville. Members of the committee turned out in massive numbers at a public hearing to object. In November, the council removed her as the mayor for the city of Porterville. But Virginia believes in doing the right thing even when it's not the most popular thing to do. She contributes her well-being and life to God. Please help me in welcoming Virginia Gurula. Honoree Chris Hayashi is the Executive Director at the Transgender Law Center, an entity that works to change law, policy, and attitudes so that all people can live safely, authentically, and free from discrimination regardless of their gender identity or expression. Mr. Hayashi served as the Executive Director and Co-Director of the Audre Lorde Project, a lesbian, gay, bisexual, two-spirit, trans, and gender nonconforming people of color organizing center based in New York City for 10 years. Please help me in welcoming Honoree Chris Hayashi. Chris Hayashi's representative. Thank you. Honoree Dolores Jacobs is the CEO of the San Diego LGBT Community Center. Dr. Jacobs is responsible for managing one of the oldest, largest, and most dynamic LGBT community centers in the country. Since Dolores took the executive position with the center in 2001, the organization has grown into a vibrant $4 million community-based nonprofit agency with more than 40 staff and 800 volunteers. Please help me in recognizing Dolores Jacobs.
Our next honoree is another good friend of mine from San Francisco, Joanne Keatley. Joanne was born in Mexico City and received a Master of Social Welfare degree from the University of California, Berkeley. At UCSF since 1999, she's the director of the Center of Excellence for Transgender Health. Joanne is co-principal investigator of the UCSF Capacity Building and Technical Assistance Program, funded by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and of HRSA-funded special projects of the National Significance Transgender Evaluation and Technical Assistance Project. She has worked diligently to enhance transgender care services in California, the nation, and the world, under her leadership and in partnership with the Pan American Health Organization. Please welcome Joanne Keatley.
Our next honoree is Matthias Stevens. He's an attorney from San Diego. Mr. Stevens is also lectures at UC San Diego, where he teaches 4 courses, including race and law and the law and sex. He has also lectured widely on diversity, reproductive rights, marriage equality, and LGBT civil rights, including recent lectures at the San Diego County Bar Association on the marriage decisions and diversity in the legal workplace. Please, let's give him a round of applause. Our next honoree is Ken Yeager, is a Santa Clara County Supervisor. Mr. Ken Yeager is the first openly gay elected official in Santa Clara County. For more than 4 decades, he has been a pioneer for LGBT rights in the Silicon Valley. In 1984, Ken co-founded the Bay Area Municipal Elections Committee and 4 county LGBT and transgender political action group, the first of its kind in the state. Please, let's give Supervisor Ken Yeager a round of applause. Members, again, thank you for allowing us to celebrate some of our most inspirational LGBT leaders from across the state. We have some goodie bags on your desk. Please enjoy them, and thank you again for your indulgence.
Thank you to the LGBT caucus, and thank you to all the honorees for your life's work. Senator Mendoza, after the picture is taken, I'll go to you to be recognized. Senator Mendoza. For what purpose are you to be recognized?
For the purpose of introduction.
Please.
Thank you, Madam President. Senators, I have the privilege today to introduce to you my family. It's not often that they have an opportunity to come to Sacramento and join me, but they just got on vacation last week, and they're here with me to spend a few days, and want to take a moment here to introduce to you my wife, who happens to be a kinder teacher, Leticia Mendoza. My daughter, Andrea, who just promoted from junior high and is going to high school, scary enough. My daughter, Anais, who's becoming a 6th grader next year. And my son, Antonio Jr., who's 8. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you, and welcome to Senator Mendoza's family. Senator Nielsen, are you going to recognize the guests in the back of the chambers?
If I may, Madam Chair.
Please, thank you.
It's a pleasure and an honor to introduce a colleague who served so nobly here for many years. Senator Dan McCorquodale, the 12th Senate District, from San Jose and from Modesto. Dan was a lion for local government here, a fine representative that balanced the interests of the Silicon Valley and then the northern San Joaquin Valley, and that's no mean feat. Dan's a great senator, a great friend.
Welcome back, Senator.
Let me add, too, he was a great aficionado of Adlai Stevenson, who was a very true to his heart noble man, ran for president, did not succeed. But he became famous for hard working, the epitome of the hard-working, precinct-walking candidate. Once his shoe was up and the big hole was in his shoe, and that became the symbol of Adlai hard-working Stevenson. Dan has always and yet retains that pin on his lapel.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to the chamber, Senator. Senator Anderson at the Pro Tem's desk.